Okay. Oh, the polysaccharide itself they contribute for activities of white blood cells. No wonder. Yeah. Yeah. Not already. Okay. One, two, one, two, one, two, one. Hello out there. Let's have a little talk on Ganoderma lucidium. Have you heard the name before? Well, it's possible you've heard other names it's referred to as, but Ganoderma lucidium is also known as reishi and also LINGZHi. Now, Ganoderma lucidium is a special medicinal red mushroom, right? That has a lot of health benefits because of the bioactive compounds in it. Now, one of such bioactive compounds is beta glucans. Now, it's a soluble type of fiber that helps in doing some of the major things that fiber does to the body, right? And then it contains proteins, it contains phosphorus, it contains zinc, contains alkaloids. It helps in activating the activities of the white blood cells in the body, and it's also been found to help those that are interested in shedding weight the healthy way. Now, Ganoderma lucidium, apart from this, helps with cardiovascular health. It helps in keeping your organs healthy to enable you carry out your daily activities. Now, this is the main ingredients of LINGZHi coffee, chocolate, and tea. Let's just take the next few minutes to say a thing or two concerning this amazing product that you can see right here on the table. This is LG Boost. Now, LG Boost was created with the male folk in mind. Why? Because it contains ginseng and maca root. It helps in activating a man's ability to be able to perform sexually. It also helps in patients that are battling with ulcer. We know how dangerous ulcer can be. You know how painful. If you've experienced it, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So LG Boost helps in that area. It also helps in maintaining your ability to wear off andropause as much as possible. You know, for the female folk, they experience menopause. Now, in the case of the men, it's andropause, which is a drop in testosterone activity. LG Boost is very good for that. It also helps in reducing anxiety. It helps in calming the nerves. It helps in dealing with stress and other related issues in the body. Here we have the green tea. Now, green tea, apart from helping your organs to function the way they should, green tea also helps in trimming weight the healthy way. It also helps in getting rid of the problem of bronchitis, which is inflammation of the bronchial tube, right? And then it also helps in relaxing the nerves. It helps in easing stress. It also helps people who are experiencing sleep disorders. Here we have the black coffee. Now, black coffee was formulated specially for people who are battling blood sugar. You know how dangerous diabetes is, right? Current statistics show that about 11 million Nigerians are battling with diabetes. That is not including those that have not been able to gain excess fat. Now, Ganoderma excess fat. Now, Ganoderma lucidium, like we mentioned earlier, has the potency to help you trim down body fat, especially intraintestinal fat, which is also known as visceral fat. So whether it is white fat, whether it is beige fat, whether it is brown fat, it doesn't matter. Ganoderma lucidium helps you to take care of that. Now, the other major issue that the black coffee helps you to deal with is the issue of blood pressure. We know that most people who experience diabetes, right, come down with blood pressure issues. One of the main reasons is because there are tiny tubes in the kidneys that help in the activities of kidney, whereby blood comes in. They help the body to take care of their activities. They help the body in getting rid of some substances that are not needed in the body. So this helps in strengthening the health of the organs. It also helps in cardiovascular issues generally. Then the next one we have is the coffee au lait. Now, coffee au lait is basically coffee with cream, right? So there are people who have issues consuming dairy cream, people whose bodies are not able to produce or secrete the hormone known as lactase, which is responsible for digesting the dairy milk that you take to enable your body absorb the health benefits of that milk. Now, this uses non-dairy cream like almond milk and soy milk, so it's very good. It also helps with the issue of muscle soreness. It helps with back pain. It helps with shoulder pain, and then it's also help people with gastrointestinal issues generally. Then we have the hot chocolate. Now, chocolate is very good, especially for little kids and then the aged, because it helps in ensuring that the brain cells carry out the activities that they are supposed to carry. Sometimes you discover certain children, when they go to school, they try as much as possible to pay attention to what they are learning, but at the end of the day, they are not able to remember the things they are supposed to remember so they can write exams well and pass, right? The reason is simple. It's difficult for the child. It's not the child's fault. It's difficult for the child, maybe as a result of ADHD, attention hypersensitivity deficit disorder, or other related issues. So hot chocolate helps the child in by boosting their ability to be able to concentrate and then retain information, because whatever information you receive as a human, right, it's stored temporarily. No, with constant use, and then with constant use and rehearsals, you're able to remember what you're supposed to remember and then write the exam you're supposed to. And most of the time when this happens, you hear some teachers who do not have an understanding of this, they just conclude that this child is dull, not knowing that the child is facing one difficulty or another. And then you know that education generally is universal, but learning is personal. So you find out that in the same class, the two different kids will learn the same thing, but they have different levels of understanding. One is able to assimilate more than the other. So hot chocolate helps in taking care of this problem. It also helps the aged in activating the brain cells and their ability to be able to retain information. You know that as you age, the number of neurons or cells in your body begin to decline. Now, hot chocolate helps you in strengthening those cells. So all these amazing products from LINGZHi Global Nigeria Limited contain varying percentages of Ganoderma lucidium. This green tea has the highest percentage, which is 36. Now, one of the major reasons is because coffee in itself, right, and chocolate have their own health benefits. Now, when it comes to coffee, one of the major issues that a lot of people have with coffee is that, or rather, should I say, from the information that people are exposed to, is that caffeine will kill you and all of that. But did you know that 4.47 million kilograms of coffee were consumed in Nigeria in 2024 alone? In 2025, the number rose to 4.56 million kilograms, amounting to 256.15 cups annually. Now, this shows that coffee is a beverage that is loved by those who understand the health benefits. And again, there are several issues that people may have with coffee, maybe as a result of your metabolism in the body, maybe as a result of bad brewing, because just having good coffee is not enough. How well was it brewed, right? And then again, another thing that plays a key role in determining the amount of caffeine that you consume in coffee is the type of coffee beans. There are different types. There's Arabica, which has the least amount of caffeine, has about 1.2, and then the next one is Robusta. It has between 1.8 to 2.5, and then there's Liberica, and then Excelsa, and then probably there are other newer ones, but these are the major types of coffee beans. Now, the theobromine that is inside the cocoa that we use for this hot chocolate is such that it contains a lot of health benefits. It helps your dental health, it helps with cardiovascular health generally, it helps with strengthening your bones, and a host of other health benefits. Then right here we have the Ganoderma spore powder. That's the magical red mushroom that is infused in all of these products. This is the pure Ganoderma spore powder. It's very good. It's something you can add to whatever beverage that you're taking. So you can see from all I have said, you can see that LINGZHi Global Nigeria Limited is not just out to say, okay, come and take coffee. No, we're saying drink healthy, right? Live healthy. Get the mobility that you're supposed to get the mortality that you're supposed to get. We don't want a situation where you see a 35-year-old person feeling and acting like a 70-year-old person. We want a situation where you're able to enjoy longevity. We want a situation where you're able to enjoy health. And then after enjoying the health, we're saying there's also an opportunity for you to share this goodness with other people. There's also an opportunity for you to create wealth for yourself, and not just little cash here and there. We're talking about generational wealth. Why did I say so? Now, for every business that you're running, there are two very important variables that affect the strength and growth of the business. One of it is the love that people have for the products, and then two, the system that empowers those that are dealing or selling or distributing this product. Now, in LINGZHi Global, we understand that there's need to appreciate those that are helping to share the goodness of coffee, chocolate, and tea, plus the herb of immortality, which is Ganoderma lucidium, to the rest of the world. So we believe that it is important, right, for us to share the goodness to as many people as we can. And then we also believe that those that are responsible for sharing this goodness are able to be in a position where they are appreciated financially, and then also gives them the opportunity to create the kind of impact that we create in the society. Now, LINGZHi Global Nigeria Limited came to existence in 2023, and our vision is by impacting knowledge, we can contribute to the society by ensuring that we achieve a fulfilling lifestyle. Now, when you talk about a fulfilling lifestyle, you're not just talking about finances, you're talking about health, you're talking about connections, that's networks, you're talking about real financial education, because a lot of people, right, will go to school for 16, 17, 18, 20 years only to end up being qualified to learn about money. Because if we were to take the census now, even those that read economics, accounting, banking, statistics, how often do we have the opportunity of being taught how to make money in school? In all honesty, right? It's always never there. So you discover that it's when people graduate that they start learning how to make money. I remember back then when I was running my NYSC in Cross River. I remember the camp officials called on me to say, because I'm also a fashion designer, they called on me to say, we need you to come and train people. Now, these are graduates. Ordinarily, if people had the basic training on how to make money outside school, there wouldn't be any need to say, okay, you need to come and teach them a trade. That's somebody who went to school 5, 6, 7 years. It depends on the degree. So at the end of the day, you're not taught how to make money. You're just taught how to either count money, how to keep records, and all of that. But in LINGZHi Global, we're saying no, it's not supposed to be like that. So when you jump on board, you have the opportunity of learning how to create wealth. You have the opportunity to learn how to preserve it, how to grow it, and then how to help others in your team to grow it. And then our mission in LINGZHi Global is, number one, generating residual income. Why do we think, or why do we feel it's important, or why do we know that it's important to generate residual income? Now, as somebody who is a salary earner, you wait for 30 days to be able to earn money. But can you honestly say you don't spend money within those 30 days? And then don't forget, there's the issue of inflation. And once it hits, the value of money begins to decline. And then another issue is, you often hear people say the GDP of a country is certain numbers, the GDP of certain country is certain numbers. Now, at the end of the day, you discover that these statistics do not really cover the true situation on ground, because does it consider the level of poverty? That's one question. Does it consider the level of poverty? You just consider what has been achieved or what has been gained financially within a certain time period. But do you also consider the amount of poverty? So in LINGZHi, we're saying it's very important to generate residual income. And then again, one of the other major reasons why it is important to generate residual income is because if you come from a background that is not wealthy, if your family name doesn't open doors for you, what are you doing to ensure that your name will open doors for those that are coming behind you? It's very important, whether we like it or yes. That's the reality. So you have an opportunity to generate residual income. You have an opportunity to create impact. You also have an opportunity to do things for the honor of your family name that will lift the honor of your family name in the end. And then again, another reason why it's important to generate residual income is because when it comes to creating wealth, speed matters a lot. I'll give you an example. If someone earns 10 million naira within a year or 10 months or 1 year, and some other person earns 10 million within 5, 6, or 7 months, you would agree with me that that person who earned that amount of money within 6 to 7 months has 3 to 5 more months within the year to be able to earn more money. So it means if they are earning the same amount, similar amount, that person that earns faster will always be at an edge or will always be ahead. And you often hear people say, when you talk about businesses like this, you often hear people say, get rich quick, right? In LINGZHi Global, we don't talk about getting rich quick, but we so much appreciate the idea of getting rich faster. Because even in the good book, it says redeem time, right? Now, another reason why it's important to generate residual income is we picked a training from the good book which says that divide your portion into 7 or 8 places, right? In Ecclesiastes 11, divide your portion into 7 or 8 places, for you do not know the calamity that may befall the earth. Now, let's take, for instance, you're somebody who is a driver, right? You do driving for a living. What happens if, God forbid, you are involved in a terrible accident and then something happens to your ability to be able to earn money through driving? What happens? Or let's say you are a school teacher and then something happens and you're not able to earn money from teaching. What happens? So you see, you have a backup plan. You have something that will be able to sustain you. You have something that will be able to put money in your pocket. You have something that will be able to put you in the position to be able to help others. And again, whatever field or whatever line of business you're in, right? There's opportunity for you to generate money in coffee, chocolate, and tea, especially that which is infused with the mushroom of immortality, that is Ganoderma lucidum. Then our second mission in LINGZHi Global is to pass on the passion. Now we believe that on a general note, people are not usually born into wealth or poverty, but they are born into programming. So if the programming is right, it means there's an opportunity to grow wealth. But if the programming is wrong, there's need for a reprogramming, right? You watch the media and then you hear things like, we have this so program, this so program coming up next. That's because they want to affect, they want to direct how your thinking is. They want to tailor your thinking to a particular thing. So in LINGZHi Global, we're saying it is important to pass on that passion, because when you pass on the passion, you are sure that the vision that you captured of creating a fulfilling lifestyle is passed on to the next generation. Take Dangote, for instance. Now, I've heard situations where motivational speakers just gather people that are not very aware to tell them that Dangote started small. But can I shock you? Dangote's great-grandfather was the first person to deposit money in any bank in Nigeria when British Bank for West Africa first came, which is known as First Bank today. Now, if you ask someone who doesn't know, they say Dangote started small. Now, the truth of the matter is, at some point, Dangote's great-grandfather was the richest African. At some point, his grandfather was the richest Nigerian. Today, Dangote is the richest black man. That's because he has learned from the programming of the importance of creating generational wealth. So it's not just to say, okay, this person is rich, this person is rich. No, we're talking about generational wealth, something that can sustain you and sustain those that are coming behind. And then we also believe that if you're from a background that is not well to do, your ability to achieve financial success at a very high level gives those that are coming behind the understanding. It opens their eyes to the possibility of what is possible when it comes to earning financial freedom and creating generational wealth. So from all that I have said, I'm sure you have questions, I'm sure you have concerns. So any questions that you have concerning what I have said, just go ahead and drop it in the comment section, and then we'll cycle back and then answer the question and also offer more details, because it's difficult for us to exhaust all the goodness that is that nature has blessed Ganoderma lucidium with, that nature has blessed coffee with, that nature has blessed chocolate with, and then that nature has blessed like I said, Ganoderma lucidium. And then again, a little history. Let me just take the next 1 or 2 minutes before we sign out to say that for those that remember, in history, cocoa and coffee were some of the cash crops that sustained the economy of Nigeria before the oil boom in the 50s. So we discovered that after the oil boom, a lot of issues came up, and then we're not able to earn from farming cocoa and coffee at that level. Now, currently, Nigeria ranks the 4th as far as coffee consumption is concerned, followed by Ethiopia, and then South Africa, Ethiopia, South Africa, Madagascar, and then, of course, Nigeria. And again, did you know that coffee was actually discovered in Africa? Maybe you didn't know. Now you know. So this is what we have for you today. We'll cycle back again very soon, and then we'll answer your questions, and then we offer more details. So let me just have a sip of my amazing LINGZHi hot chocolate here. LINGZHi for Africa by Africa. Stay with us. We'll cycle back again very soon.